Going live. 3, 2, 1, and we're live. All right, let me just share my my Twitter link and then I'll start looking at the charts. Just give me one moment. I'm in a different location right now, so I've had to reset up everything. It doesn't take too long to set up my computer and everything because it's all portable. So I can stream from anywhere. And I continue to serve. Let me just post this tweet. I don't know what you call it now. Do you call it a tweet? Or do you call it an X? Post this X. Live link in. Don't even know if I should be streaming directly onto X or still continue doing YouTube. I don't know. It's hard to know. Emoji. Let me share this link and then I'll start. Right, that's perfect. Posted my little X message, X message, X post, X message. What do you call it? All right. Yeah. So let's start. Have a look at what's going on in the charts. There's no one here. That's fine. Doesn't matter. We'll start anyway. So yeah, so let's just go and have a look at BTC or TRVL. Maybe TRVL. Let's start with TRVL first, probably. Actually, I'm kind of interested. I'm really interested in TRVL because I'm still seeing continued strength. Maybe slightly waning, but you know that's not unexpected. Let me just update the volume. And so for people who don't know, I'm using a combination of these four charts: Bybit TRVL, KuCoin TRVL, Gate.io TRVL, MEXC TRVL, and then it's like an equation. It's dividing it by 4. So actually my charts are a combination of a combined values from all 4 of these charts. So now when I'm doing, I don't get the beginning data, so it's only starting from when KuCoin launched, which was the 9th of December here, 10th of December. So it's like 1 month out, but that doesn't matter because most of the data is here and I've got the highs and lows and I've got the key levels that I need. But actually when it comes to volume, it means that there's an aggregate profile, volume profile. So I don't need to flip between exchanges to see exactly how much his volume is coming in and exactly where it's coming in. So let me just do a couple of different volume profiles because I've been thinking about the volume. I'm going to kind of zoom out a little bit. Let me first zoom in. Let me see how much volume is coming today. So 556k, not that much. 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, 7 million, 4 million, 5 million. So we've been having quite a lot. Today's actually quite a low volume day today. I do sense that the buying is waning actually. So I don't know. I personally am not trading it, or I'm not reacting on this data. I'm just giving information, and it's a hobby of mine. Obviously, I'm hodling for higher time frame targets, so I'm not telling people just because the buying is waning that you should sell, but it's just information, in case people are interested. So let me just pull this volume profile. I'll ignore today's volume because I don't think it's going to make much difference to the volume profile. I can see that the volume profile up to yesterday, there's no changes. Point of control is exactly where it is. And just looking at this profile, I can see there's a little bit of a high volume node here. So there's a few high volume nodes going on here. So I get 3, 4. Let's have a look and see where that is. It's kind of slightly below where we are now, 3, 4. It's like 2 high volume nodes here. One, like here is a bit of an area, and then you've got kind of, this whole thing is an area, isn't it? A whole area of volume, and you can see that the price is slightly above it. This is where the price is now. So it's kind of the volume is here, isn't it? Or maybe even slightly lower. You know, it's like all of this. This is where the volume is. And then the peak of the high volume is where I've got this red line. There. See that? And this white line here is where the current price is right now. And then the kind of the nearest higher volume area is about 3.4. That's 3.4 cents, right? So this is an updated volume profile. I can get rid of that now. And reset that. I'll put it back on the weekly chart. And we had a really nice impulsive bullish week with a bullish engulfing. This red candle is your take profit. And it held on top of this volume node as support. You can see that. And then we had a little bit of a buy up this week. Let me kind of see how the monthly chart is progressing. See, that's quite interesting. So we went all the way down as far as we could, almost to 50% of this month body or fib. It's like 50 fib, and then found support, and then we kind of reacted, and the price is now trading above the monthly open. So naturally, if we do go down, the monthly open, which is the high volume node, should offer support. Just because we've traded down and we've come up, going back down, the high volume node should offer support. So that's what it should do, and then we have to see if it does what it should do or not. That will be a question. So there's a few questions as to what will happen in the future. I can see the volume in terms of buying has kind of slowed down a little bit. That doesn't mean it's not bullish. It just means that we're not market buying at the moment. So whereas before people were like repositioning in, they were just getting good chunks out of TRVL, kind of repositioning their portfolios, market buying in. Now we're not getting that urgency. Whereas before there was a little bit of a panic. When you get this kind of price action, you get an impulse, you get an ABC, you get another impulse, and you're getting a little bit of a panic because people can see it's impulsing. You can see that we had a little bit of a market structure change here with a higher high, with that impulsive buy, and right now there's no doesn't seem like there's an urgency to keep on pushing it up. And so actually maybe what we'll see is a little bit more of a prolonged consolidation in this whole area, possibly, to see how this corrects. Could it be like that? Yeah, it is possible. It could correct like that. And obviously the lower you get, the more demand you're going to get, because obviously that's a cheap price. And so naturally when people look in this, they're thinking, okay, I buy now, or maybe I can buy it at the high volume node, which is about 13% cheaper, or even at this daily level, slightly lower down, which is about 23% is quite a big difference when you're looking to pick up this token. So some people, if they don't feel a FOMO or they don't feel the need to buy, they might be patient and might scale in. And so that's kind of what I'm imagining right now, is that we're still kind of patient. But I do think that it is possible that we are going to have another impulsive movement. We have to see what happens. Because this could be corrective too. Like, it looks impulsive, but it could always be corrective. Like with an ABC, and then we're looking to correct further down for the actual move. So there's lots of things that could happen. And what do I mean by that? Well, ultimately, you're still forming ABCs until you form the final fourth and fifth wave. I don't know if that makes sense. How do I explain it? And also potentially this last wave is the fifth wave, and that's the other thing you have to bear in mind. So did I draw the Elliott waves before? Not on this chart. It's quite impulsive there. On ABC, see that? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was your wave 3. And what is this? Was that your correction and that's your 5th wave? Or is this whole thing a correction and we're still expecting a kind of a 5th wave, yeah, to push into higher prices? At the moment, we're in bullish market structure. We haven't taken out that low here. So potentially if this consolidates here, if this just continues to consolidate here, then maybe we will be looking for another explosive move up. And if not, then you could almost think to yourself, well, actually, maybe that was it. Maybe that was it. And now we're forming an ABC down. Or, and this is the thing, if we suddenly decide, if the price decides, no, this isn't it, this wasn't the impulsive move to begin the impulses, then you'd actually go down, you'd start to get bearish again, you'd make a lower low, reject from this high volume node, and you're aiming, the price is aiming to kind of take the lows one more time. And instead of a 5 waves, you're actually, what the price really was trying to do, even though it's hard to preempt, was that it was trying to kind of ABC, like something like that. And then it's just trying to just ABC. It looks like it's impulsive, but actually maybe what it's trying to do is like something more, I don't know, something more like that or whatever, something more corrective. So at the moment it's bullish, but you always have to be careful of weakness. Yeah. So right now we're not seeing weakness. What we are seeing is that the impulsiveness of the buying has slowed down. Yeah. The volume has dropped off. You can see here, you've got like a reduction in volume, increase in prices. That in itself is slightly bearish. And so possibly we're looking for another pullback. And when I'm looking at the CCI here, look, you can see that there's like bearish, hidden bearish divergence as well. So there's a little bit of bearish divergence forming at the highs of this local kind of this kind of price action. Higher highs on the CCI, lower highs on the price. That's hidden bearish divergences forming. You have come something similar here on the MACD. You've got slightly higher on the MACD, slightly lower on the price. That's hidden bearish divergences, and you've got increasing prices and then decreasing volume. So I just get the vibe right now that the market buying has slowed down, and now the question is going to be how much, like if people are looking to position in, naturally they'd want to get it as cheap as possible. And so, and then we need to, you know, if people are looking to sell, like some people have bought this thinking, okay, let's pump to the moon. Some people have a higher time frame in mind, and so they're not actually looking to sell. And this is the question. This is what determines whether we are looking to go to higher prices or actually we're looking for a deeper correction. Because if that was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then technically you could correct, you could do a kind of a corrective move, ABC, right back down to the point of control. You know, you could totally do that. Find support right back into this local range. It would be very bearish, but actually because you're like a head and shoulders pattern. But then maybe that's where you're going to impulse, you know. Then you're going to get another impulsive move as long as you don't take out this low. And I'm not fond of that, to be honest. I'm not crazy fond of going so deep, because it just means that people who bought are just selling. Yeah, the market's selling. They're not hodling for higher. And so it just gives you an idea of people's behavior, the way people are buying, the way people are selling, whether they're selling with market, whether they're hodling for a higher time frame, or whether people are accumulating at market, or whether people are accumulating with limit orders. But I mean, I think this is like, we're in bullish market structure now, and as long as we just kind of hold this high volume node, that's perfectly bullish. Yeah, because we've made a higher high. This is our low. And the longer we can consolidate here, put volume at these levels, the more bullish it becomes. Then potentially, especially when Bitcoin corrects, and this is really important. So you have to see how this moves when Bitcoin moves as well. If Bitcoin corrects, we have to see if there's enough demand to hold the price. Yeah, if people are looking to just place limit orders and hold the price or not. And if people are as Bitcoin corrects, are we going to get people market sell millions and millions of TRVL? And then that will definitely push the price down. And then it will be a balance of whether there are enough limit orders or not at these key levels. Jorge Campos, hi, good morning. Do you think Asia could be bullish? Asia seems to be bullisher. It seemed to be bullish constantly. Like, it's unusual, but Asia's been pushing the price up recently. And there's a massive stimulus package in China, which is impacting the markets. So if that continues according to the way it's been in the past, yeah, I do think Asia could be bullish for Bitcoin first, and then for the rest of the crypto. Yeah, but let me have a look at this weekly time frame chart on TRVL. Let me hide that impulsive wave. So you're creating weekly levels, aren't you? So there's another weekly level. There's a brand new weekly level formed here. As long as this week is green. Let me mark it here. So you've got quite an important support level here building here, haven't we? We've got this high volume node, which is a volume level. And you've got this new weekly level, which is a liquidity level, which is being formed just because of the structure of the candle. And you've got a previous weekly level here. Now, we don't know how the week is going to close. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to close above it or below it. I think if we close above it, that generally speaking would be bullish. It just gives you room to back test. But I mean, it's quite close. So, I mean, even if we may not get a clean back test, the price may still just kind of go all the way further down and try and test the lows one more time to see how much support there is. But I mean, that would be considered bullish because you're closing above an important level that needs to be flipped. Yeah, the previous weekly level. So if I kind of zoom in, but obviously I don't know how this is going to close. You can see here that corresponds with this daily level. You can see here that it reacted as resistance. Yesterday we had a nice break. Yeah. Does this kind of hold here for continuation, or do we lose it? I don't know, but it's a weekly level. So we have to see what happens with the price on the weekly time frame. And, you've got some daily levels here, which has been cleared of liquidity. The price has gone up. So naturally, there is still more demand than supply at these levels because you can see it. You can see it in the way the candles are forming. Oh, you can see it. I'm just trying to get rid of those squiggles. You can see it the way the candles are forming and the way the price goes down, gets liquidity, and goes right back up. So if there's not enough liquidity, the price won't do that. It will start to lose levels and it will start to go down. So at the moment, it looks like we're still holding important levels. But in the kind of current context, this is like a weekly. It's from here. And then obviously, if you can't see it, I'll show you. There's a daily level here. Which is also an important level that needs to be flipped back into resistance if we lose that level. And then in this context, I mean, I'm not crazy with the volume, losing volume. Yeah? So I can tell you that we're losing volume. So the market buying has kind of slowed down significantly. That's very obvious. Yeah. If I do a fib pull here, the 382 of this kind of move kind of corresponds with this high volume node, and then you got this weekly level 2 that's untapped. So you got a bit of a support area here, right here, just somewhere between 30 and 326, somewhere there. And that's already, I mean, that's already kind of 10% lower. Yeah. And then you have to see what happens. Do we kind of go into a more of a, I mean, generally speaking, these kind of V-shaped recoveries, which I'm looking at a V-shape now, you don't just go up. Yeah, you don't just go up. This is the V. And generally speaking, you kind of go down like that. Yeah. And in this context, maybe you would kind of come back to the 50%. We came back to the 50% here and we had a little reaction, not making it, not taking out the high. So it's not enough. There's not enough bullish reaction to push it up. So, you know, as long as we're getting support and we're not losing levels, we can take the liquidity and come back up, that's fine. But generally speaking, you get this kind of down channel. It gets everyone bearish, but that's actually how you kind of can impulse if you're looking to impulse for a next move. Honestly, taking out the low here, even though it's possible to get a reaction, I think that would be really bearish. It would look very bearish taking out that low. Okay. In this context, you might get a reaction, but actually, I think a lot of people would then be looking to kind of skim or close their positions, maybe to pick up lower, just because the structure now in this context would be looking bearish if we take out that low. That low is really important. Yeah. And so if anyone is bullish, if we do get a pullback, then it's very important that we place limit orders and we absorb the selling. And if anyone is bullish, then it's really important that you don't market sell. Like, it's just something that we have to contemplate, you know. If you're bullish and you're selling at market, then you're not really bullish. You're causing the price action to look bearish. You're actually bearish. If you're bearish, you market sell. Yeah, we're in bullish market structure. If you're bearish, you market selling. Yeah, so you can't be bullish in this scenario and market sell. That doesn't make sense. You're actually bearish. Yeah, in this context, if you're bullish, you would buy at key support levels just because we've changed the structure, and then that will be the test to see how bullish and how bearish this really is, how many buyers and sellers there really are. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at now. And there's none of this is financial advice. It's just observation. Oh, I don't think there's two. I want to keep it. It's just observation on the price action and contemplation for the future. In terms of kind of timings, and we're thinking like when moon, yeah, that's what people are thinking, when moon. When am I going to be able to buy a Lamborghini? You know, that's what people are imagining, aren't they? So I've talked about this a lot, and you know, I've got this trend-based time which I've mapped from the beginning of the token slightly below before this launch candle here, because it launched in November, I think the 21st, 11/21 on Bybit, Gate.io and MEXC, and then afterwards on KuCoin. And we've got this nice kind of fib, trend-based fib time with some really nice pivots being put in on time. And we've got a really nice time pivot coming up on the 17th of November. So in about 4 weeks time, we have a really nice time pivot. And until then, I just don't want to take out this low, really. That's all I don't want to do. I think it'll be extremely bullish if we're able to hold a higher low here. I would love it if this was the higher low. And if we were to pull back and have a reaction on time, that would be really, for me, that would be extremely bullish. And then according to these time pivots, my target would be somewhere in April to try and see if we can peak out on this next time pivot, which would be the 1 to 2. So I'm actually following these quite carefully. And in terms of when moon, well, if we can hold a higher low, then potentially I would imagine that this whole move was a wave 1. This wherever we came down to the low would be the wave 2, and then we're in a wave 3. And I would be expecting some kind of extension if we can pivot on the 17th of November or 20th of November, thereabouts, or the second week or third week of November, without taking out the low, then I would be kind of looking for, let me see, a 1.618 extension that would be extended, would be looking at 34 cents. I think a 1-to-1 is I think we would go I think in this context you'd be going beyond the 1-to-1. Yeah, a 1-to-1 wouldn't be very bullish. I don't think so. I think just lose, like, let me just put that back like there. I don't think that would be that bullish. I'd be aiming for like the 1.618. You can see that. That's kind of when I'll be aiming for. And then the only thing that I would suggest is that would be a higher high on the weekly time frame. So you're looking at a higher high. We haven't had a higher high in the whole of this token's history. So that would be a very significant shift or change, a higher high on the weekly time frame. That would be a big step. That will be a big step into turning this higher time frame structure into bullish. Higher high is really important, and actually maybe that will cause people, and depending on Bitcoin, obviously, that will cause people to become even more bullish on this, because then people are looking at a token which is shit. It's like 34 cents. It was trading at 3.6 cents. That's a 10x from where we are now. That's kind of what I'm targeting in the first instance. And then you have to see, because this is looking really bullish, isn't it? It's like a triple bottom. Maybe people look at it and go, oh, well, that's an inverse head and shoulders. I can ride this bull. And then maybe you can go up to potentially the 1-to-2, possibly. That would be a measured move right up to the 1-to-2, potentially. And then you'll be looking for a correction back all the way back down to the top of this pivot. You know, for another kind of, for the final move, for the final Elliott wave move. That's kind of what you're looking for on these time pivots, if possible. And there are caveats, and the caveat that I was kind of imagining was what I saw in the announcements. I was kind of looking at them, and was it the announcement? No, it wasn't the announcements. It was actually on X. So let me just go to X. I think I posted it. I reposted it. So let me just have a look and just remember what I reposted from this one. Hold on. Here, this is it. I think this. So Dtravel has posted a lot of things. And some really good things. Yeah. So they're creating a lot of good content now on X. And there's this really like nice thread that they posted. Look, this weekly update, progress update is a really nice thread. And so definitely have a look at what's going on. Some of it is repeat information. That's fine. And then obviously it's just ordered and it's in a really nice fashion. Definitely everyone should be reposting and liking this, because this is going to bring exposure. The more and more people like and repost, the more exposure that we're going to get, the faster we're going to get to where we want to go. Like, this is really important. If anyone is watching my videos and you're not doing this, then why? Like, if anyone's invested in this token and you're not reposting and resharing, even if it's not your X, even if you don't use X, even if it's just to add a like, to get this like count up, that has an impact on the views. It has an impact on the algorithm. It has an impact on who sees this, because, you know, it's a competitive market. You know, we've got 47,000 followers, and the more you like it, the more these followers see it, and then the more it can potentially go viral. So definitely do that if you're not doing that. But I did post on my X what I saw here. Look, currently vacation rental operators on Dtravel network pay a fee on complete transactions. Okay, so the fee is 3%. Yeah, so if I accept a direct booking from someone, my fee, my booking reservation value is calculated, and 3% goes automatically goes to Dtravel, to the treasury. That's that doesn't require my involvement. That just happens, right? Here, look, with staking, vacation rental operators will be able to eliminate this fee altogether. Altogether is the operative word here, the important word, yeah? The goal here is to make it easy for Airbnb hosts to acquire TRVL, stake, and increase their profit potential on bookings, yeah? So I don't know how much is going to be required to stake, and I think initially it won't be much significant fiat value, but obviously as the value of TRVL goes up, then it could be significant. And so I don't know if there's going to be an algorithm to determine it based on the TRVL. I don't know how they're going to calculate that. So I don't know if it's going to be proportional to the value of TRVL, or if it's just going to be a fixed amount which is going to be revised in the future. I have no idea. But I do know that this is a big deal, because effectively you're going to have, in the current context of where we're at now, which is close to 4,000, I think it's about 4,000 listings. I don't even know if it's going to be per listing or if it's going to be per host. I don't know that yet. And obviously they're still working on it, and we'll find out soon enough. But I imagine if it's per listing, that would make sense. And so you can imagine that you're going to now get 4,000 listings. Potentially will be able to stake per list on their listing, and they'll have to stake TRVL. They'll lock it away, and that will eliminate the 3% fee. And that's going to cause people to require or to need TRVL, and that's going to cause the price hopefully to go up. I think a lot of people will be market buying in that scenario. And so I think there's going to be an adjustment to the price of TRVL when this is launched. And it's going to be a real adjustment. It's going to be a significant adjustment to the price. It won't just be a pump and dump. It makes no sense for it to be some kind of pump and dump, because people aren't dumping. They're buying and staking and locking that away. And potentially it will be locked away forever. Yeah. So I have my properties on Dtravel. Once this staking is launched, if it's per listing, then I'll be locking away a certain amount of TRVL against my listing forever, basically forever, as long as it's still on Dtravel. And so that basically means that every new property that comes onto the Dtravel network, they'll have an option. They can either accept the 3% fee, or they can purchase or earn TRVL, because you still have the TRVL reward for reservations. And then you can take that TRVL and you can lock it to cancel that fee, to cancel that 3% fee. And so you're going to have a direct impact on the amount of TRVL that's locked, and the growth of the network as it grows, and more people will earn TRVL or buy TRVL and lock it away. And you'll have an adjustment in price. It will no longer be down here, basically. That's what I'm suggesting. I'm suggesting will just be in a completely new range, because the circumstances of the need of how TRVL is bought and used is a significant shift and change in that. So I'm thinking that's going to have potentially a big, so this is kind of, besides everything else that's happening, this is going to be a real use case that should have an impact on TRVL. So in that circumstance, I don't know how far this can go. Like, it could go much higher, like we just don't know. We don't know how that's going to impact the price of TRVL. But I do imagine that that's going to be an impulsive move when that happens. Yeah, whenever that happens. And so naturally, if people are looking to kind of get cheap TRVL now is the right time. Now is the right place, almost the right time. Now is the kind of right place. Now, some people are speculating because they want an increase in TRVL value, because they want to sell. Other people are taking a higher time frame view on this project. If you look at the higher time frame view, let me just get rid of all of these scribbles. Let's get rid of all of these now. mean, you're looking at this chart and you're wondering how is the future going to look like? Yeah, what is the future going to look like? Yeah, this is the chart, isn't it? This is a monthly time frame. And if I think a large portion of what we're about to see has something to do with Bitcoin, but you could easily see this kind of go up, and then go up. I'm not saying it's going to go up to 60,000 because this is on the log scale. So actually, let me just change that to a regular scale. It might be easier to see. Yeah, so it's kind of like this, isn't it? So you can imagine up and up and up. You could imagine that, can't you? You could potentially see that happening. And while people are looking and investing for the short term, when you're looking at a Bitcoin market, a Bitcoin bull market, eventually this will break out, and eventually you'll get a little bit of FOMO and a little bit of hysteria, and we could be seeing high numbers very quickly when that happens. That's kind of what I'm imagining, and it's just a game of patience. I think most people, the best strategy is always the same. It's just dollar cost average in. Don't trade it, and have a higher time frame view on this, and just keep tabs with the project and see the developments and interact with the project and the team and X and Telegram, and you'll see that the vibe is extremely positive. And I'm here every day kind of sharing the vibe. I didn't sell the highs here. Yeah, I didn't sell, and then down here I have been buying. So like I'm a participant to this higher time frame. Yeah, of course I could have sold, and some people did. Well done. That wasn't my strategy. You can say I'm stupid, but no one really knows how far this is going to pull back. No one knows the future really. So and actually it doesn't really, I'm not really too worried that it came down, because I was able to buy at much cheaper. I was thinking to myself, wouldn't it be good if the price could come back to 5.5 and I can pick up some more TRVL? It came down to 2 cents. I was able to buy it at 2 cents. I was able to increase my portfolio size at much lower price. So I wasn't too worried about that, because I'm still taking a much higher time frame view. I'm not looking to trade this at these levels. I'm waiting for the future, which I know is coming. I really strongly believe in the future of crypto and what is going to happen in the future. And so therefore I'm taking a higher time frame view. And I think that would be the smartest idea for most people. Anyway, any questions other than Jorge? 9 cents is still a level to flip into support. I think once that happens, there's going to be a little bit of FOMO. That's what I really believe. Once we flip 9 cents into support, and then looking at this kind of the black, there's kind of some big volume gaps between 9 cents and 17 cents, 17 cents and like 28 and 30 cents, and then going all the way up to $1, and then all the way up to the all-time low. So there's a big volume gap. So I actually imagine that the hardest part to get up is in this lower part. The hardest place to get out of it is this lower part. Once we clear this lower part, it would actually be quite easy to get up to higher prices, really easy. Yeah. And I wish I could say it's going to happen in the next year. I've got my brother-in-law, he's holding it against me, or he's holding me against my words, because I was like telling him by the end of this year, we should be seeing higher prices, and he's holding it against me. So every time I see him, he reminds me. So I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but I hope it does. We'll see. All right. That's kind of TRVL. That's my TRVL update. So I think we have to just, let's see if we can, oh look, the price has already come down a little bit. See that? Just in the last few minutes, 15 minutes, you see there's a bit of selling going on here. So the market's selling. Someone's market selling. It's annoying, but you know, it is what it is. And people taking a little bit of profit. And let's see if we can hold. Let's see if we can flip. Let's see if we can hold. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of like where we were before here. And like it is quite hard for a long period of time. It was quite difficult because you're looking at these red candles, these inverse hammers or whatever. And you kind of, a lot of people were feeling very bearish, but the reality was that we were making higher lows and it was quite bullish, wasn't it? Until we got the impulsive move. And this is only just started. So I am wondering if actually we're just going to experience something like this again, something very similar to this again. And in that case, if we do start experiencing this, I think for a lot of people, a good strategy would be to skim a little bit from the top. Skim, just have a few limit orders at the top, very small amount, and then look to re-add that. So it doesn't really matter if we start impulsing, it doesn't really matter, but it means that it gives people who have got positions in TRVL the ability for us to kind of skim from the top and then re-add lower down when we get the pullbacks, if that's what we're about to experience again. Right, that's TRVL. And what's interesting is what happens with the staking. So I want to see when that happens. This is really important. Look, they posted that yesterday. It's definitely on the horizon, huh? If they're posting it. Look at this ecosystem analytics. Look, have a look at this ecosystem analytics dashboard. Is currently in development and will be publicly available over the next couple of weeks. That's really good. I'm gonna post that. Token utility alert. We're taking a phased approach to the rollout as staking will directly impact real users. The designs so far look super strong. Can't wait to share more, right? So we got a lot of good things happening here. Look at this one. New partnership announcements next week. We're excited and you should be too. So look, I don't know if anyone's noticed this, only 170 views. And we need to get the word out, don't we? We need to get the word out on all of these things. All right. That's TRVL. Let's see what else have we got. All right, so Bitcoin is rejecting from the point of control. You see that? We're having a little bit of rejection from the point of control. And we're just kind of range bound. I said that we were a little bit range bound before. And what did I do there? No changes in the volume at all. Probably a low volume weekend, to be honest with you. I think it's quite a high volume weekend. Is this bearish? I mean, yeah, it's pretty bearish. It's quite bearish. It's it would be like, I mean, the problem is we've lost. See the weekly time frame. I don't know how the weekly candle is going to end, but it's tricky because it's bullish and it's bearish at the same time. We've held support at the we're holding support at the value area low, but we're rejecting from the point of control. So what I have in my mind is that we're going to the range is going to tighten. I really think we're stuck at the moment. We're stuck in a really tight range. Yeah. And it kind of like, to me, it kind of feels like we're in some kind of triangle of sorts. Or something like that. Let me draw it a bit nicer to see what it really looks like in triangle pattern. Let's just do it from these 1 points here. effectively that's what it is, or whether the pivots are all wrong, because obviously that's kind of before it. Doesn't really work. Let me use the other triangle tool. Where's the other one? There it is. So I have to do it manually. Yeah, something like that. So that's why I'm kind of think. Well, I think that's where we're at. Yeah. So I'm not overly bearish. I'm not kind of crazy bullish. I'm kind of in between. I think we're in this kind of we're tight. This whole range is tightening. I think we're range bound now between the point of control and the value area low. At the moment, that's what it looks like. And it is possible that we just kind of flip-flop between the top and bottom here. You know, just kind of tighten up before we have some kind of breakout. Now, in this kind of context, a breakout could look, I don't think the breakout's just going to be like that. That'd be too easy. And I don't think the breakdown is going to be like that. I think that would be too easy too. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be easy for anyone. But potentially, you know, then this is going all the way till November, December. So the range of this triangle is a bit high. Let me see if I kind of minimize the range a little bit. Maybe tighten it a little bit. Let me do it like, let me use the other tool. It doesn't look good, but at least I'll get accurate pivots. Try again. Just ignore the A, B, C, D. I'm just trying to just get the outside pivots lined up correctly. I can't get rid of it here, so it's fine. Let's have a look at one other thing. No. So I prefer this one, to be honest with you. This is slightly steeper. Slightly steeper. November brings us here. Maybe we range to the end of October. And then the move would be, if you're going up, you want to go down and then go up. And if you're going down, you kind of want to go up and then go down. That's kind of what I'm imagining. I'm imagining we're going to tighten our range. And so it looks like it's getting wider, but I think here we want to kind of get a little bit tighter and then fake out before we actually go the other way, or fake up before we actually go the other way. That's kind of what I'm imagining. I think this would be perfectly acceptable because this is the high to beat. Yeah, and there's no way we're going to take that high if we just have a fake out SFP of this pivot and a massive rejection there. So it won't look bullish at all if we kind of go up, take the liquidity from C, have a massive rejection, and then you just have a big dump. Yeah, you start dumping. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm imagining on the way down. And on the way up, I'm thinking the same thing in reverse. Like, people have to get bearish, so you start to get kind of whatever you lose this bottom of these two pivots and people get, oh my god, it's really bearish, liquidity grab, and then actually you just come right back into the triangle and you start pumping, and so you get a really nice impulsive move from a liquidity grab, a massive liquidation event, but actually it starts to go the other way. So one or the other. That's kind of what I'm imagining. I think it's unlikely that we just start going up, and I think it's unlikely that we just start going down. Yeah, I think what's more likely is a tightening of a range, fake out, and then go the other way. And that's how you catch the liquidity, and you have to catch all the traders on the wrong foot. So I don't know. No one really knows if it's going to go up or down. Like, I'm bullish, yeah, but I have no idea if it's going to go up or down. I think in every case, somewhere around 44k is an amazing buy if Bitcoin was ever to give you that opportunity. If the price was, for reasons that you can't explain, it goes up and then it goes down to 44k, you would just buy. You wouldn't even hesitate, yeah. And you'd be looking, and traders are probably looking to buy the SFP of this pivot, but the reality is that down here is a really good buy zone, yeah. At the very least, if the price did kind of go down, we should get a nice bounce off this area, and it hasn't traded there since February, so I think it's a really strong support zone right back here. No idea if that's going to happen, but if that was to happen, all the way down to 39k, whatever, all the way down to the lows of this range, you would just buy. You would have to have capital in reserve to buy that dip. And you wouldn't catch a falling knife, you'd wait for the dip. You'd wait. If you start seeing the price drop, you wouldn't sell. I don't think it's a good idea to sell, because fundamentally I think the market is still aiming for higher prices. You'd be looking to buy the dip, and then obviously if you wanted to sell, you'd have to sell now. But again, no one really knows what's going to happen, because there's a lot of anticipation and expectation of higher prices in the future, and the biggest danger is that you sell thinking that the price is going to go down, and you're wrong, and then you're out of position. And then what do you do then? Yeah, if you sell and for reasons that you can't explain, the price starts pumping, what do? Do you buy back in higher? And that's how people get into trouble, because they buy back in higher and actually the price is still range bound, and it's just another fake out. Yeah, so it's not a good strategy to try and go both ways, especially when you're in the middle of the range, which is where we are. We're at the point of control. We're at the middle of this range, overall range. Yeah, there's no buying and selling here. The buying and selling is at the edges of the ranges where the price reverses, not in the middle of the range. The middle of the range is usually where traders take profit. And so when I look at the overall range now, we're just above the 50 fib, so we're slightly above the 50% mark of the range. And look, we're here at the point of control, rejecting from the point of control and the golden pocket. It's not the right time to buy. It's definitely the right time to take profit for long. It's definitely the right time to take profit, and it's not the right time to short. You could have shorted it, but we're holding the value area low as support, so you short that, you have to take profit there at the value area low. It's a scalp, basically. It's a scalper's range. That's where we're at now, and I do think that we're slowly going to see a tightening of the range, and we have to see what happens then. And then the other thing we have to take into consideration, everyone is thinking about this, I've mentioned it a few times, this possibility that Israel is going to strike Iran. Naturally, that's going to cause the market to panic, and that probably will be a really good buy opportunity, probably. Yeah, whatever happens, you should see that as a buy opportunity. So it's always smart idea and a good plan to have a little bit of cash in reserve for the dip. And if you see that you're overexposed now in alts, you could scale back a little bit on all your alts, just to have a little bit of cash in reserve, just in case we get a dip. And and then it's not a problem because we're at the point of control. If the price, for reasons that we can't explain, does go up, whatever, it's easy to put it back in at the next step, you know, and you can put it right back in. You don't lose that much, and actually probably you'd see the POC, the point of control, flip into support first, whatever happens. So it's a kind of, it's not a bad idea to skim a little bit when you're in profit. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking about Bitcoin right now. It's kind of boring, isn't it? Sometimes when Bitcoin goes sideways and goes boring, then alts start to pump. And so we have seen some alts pumping recently. We saw yesterday SLERF pumped. And so I've been looking at SLERF in depth yesterday. Altcoin Dreaming posted his idea of this Wyckoff accumulation. I mapped it out. Very possible. We didn't get as strong as close as I'd hoped, which would have been a close above this high volume node, this point of control. So we're finding resistance on the point of control. You see now we have a lot of volume today. The volume has been significant today, the last 12 hours. Look at that buy up. Yeah. So, and look at that sell. So we're getting good volume. So the volume is coming in. So even though we're not impulsing, we are getting accumulation, and kind of what we want to see here is a kind of a flat correction here above this previous pivot, and we want to see a really this weekly candle, if it closes like this, is extremely bullish. It's a bullish engulfing candle on the previous week. It's a really bullish candle, but we need follow through, and it looks quite stronger. So it's kind of sometimes what happens when Bitcoin goes sideways is that altcoins start to pump, yeah, and altcoins start to go have a little bit of fun. And maybe that's what's going to happen. Maybe what we're about to see is we're about to see Bitcoin go boring, and Bitcoin starts to kind of have a tighten range, which is kind of what I'm seeing right now in the charts, a tightening of the range in Bitcoin, trapped between the value area low and the point of control. And then we might start seeing altcoins pump a little bit. You know, when you see a meme coin like SLERF pump, that's really bullish, for the whole of crypto, because that never happens when crypto is bearish. Yeah. So it is something to kind of like, which I'm keeping an eye on. And I don't really have anything new to say about SLERF, except that we got a lot of volume today. And so the volume has increased. And so maybe there's a little bit of attention back on SLERF. Traders are getting back involved in SLERF, and they're seeing the volatility, and they're seeing it as an opportunity to make money. That's kind of what we want. We want the traders to get back involved. And we had such a big move in such a short space of time in the last few periods here. We haven't seen that in a long time on SLERF. And if that was to continue, then we could be in much higher prices very quickly. So we have to see how that plays out. I wasn't crazy fond of the yesterday's close, but obviously it's been bought up immediately. Traders taking profit. We have to see how the weekly close. It looks quite bullish. It looks like a bullish week. Then you'll have a new weekly level formed at the bottom of the base of this candle here. That'll be a weekly level, and so that'll be a nice strong liquidity level. And also you've got a previous weekly level there, which could flip into support if we go back down to test. But at the moment, what I really want to see is I want to see the point of control flip into support. So a sign of strength in this context would be exactly what I've drawn here, just a kind of a nice, what you want to see is reducing volume and a consolidation here, like a pennant or a bull flag. It's kind of what you want to see over a period of a few days. If we can get that, then this is going to look really bullish. Then you could get another impulsive move. And it does look bullish right now because it looks like an inverse head and shoulders with a clean break. You just need the price to hold here and that would be really bullish. So let's see how that plays out on SLERF. I haven't closed my positions or anything. I haven't touched it. So I'm seeing we're above the point of control. I'm not going to panic sell. See what the correction plays out. So that was kind of SLERF, this little SLERF update. I wanted to have a look at a couple of other things. WLD and injective. So let me just quickly have a look at those two. Let me have a look at injective. I'm really interested in injective. I know there's a lot of hype on injective, and I obviously have a little bit of a spot bag on the injective, a little position. It went up crazier from the beginning of this year. It was trading at $1.2. It went all the way up to $50. Like it's like a 50x within the space of a year. And what you can see on this higher time frame is a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move, can't you? You can see that. You can see that we've got a really nice see, look, 1, 2 here. It's your 1. Then here you've got like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was your 5 wave. Let's delete this. I had this channel drawn out. We've lost the channel, but that doesn't matter. It looks like we're correcting. And potentially we've had our first wave impulse potentially from this pivot here, potentially. So that's kind of why I'm quite interested in this, because it looks like, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay. It looks like you've got your first kind of move here. To 2. This I'm not sure actually, because the 1 could have started there. That could still be corrective. That could be your 3, and we could be looking for 5. So actually, let me just redo this. I'm not sure about this one here. So 1. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So that would be. Delete that. 1, 2. So that would actually look good, because if that was correct, then that's your pivot high there. And for a 4 pivot, this is where you would expect a back test on the 1. This is the right place. Yeah. Now I've seen some people call for like $14 injective or whatever. I don't think it really matters. Like, this is the zone where you'd expect support. And what I'm kind of seeing is potentially like this was your 1 wave, like 5 waves here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you start correcting, maybe all the way down to here, to be honest with you, like that, because I can see that's a 3 wave. There's like an ABC there and an ABC there. So actually that's not where the impulse began. Maybe the impulse began here, and then you have a really nice 1, 2, 3, ABC 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like a big 5 wave at the end here, something like that. And now we're in the last, kind of the last 4 wave. And what's interesting about this is that if that's the 1, and now the 4 is coming to find support at the top of the 1, so this actually makes perfect sense in terms of Elliott wave theory. And then we'd be looking for a nice 5 wave to higher numbers. It's kind of what I'm seeing at the moment. So that's why I'm quite interested in this, even though like I'm not thinking, hey, I'm going to buy and hold this for the rest of my life. I'm just thinking it'd be nice to catch the last wave on this token. And if that let me just kind of draw. Let me just see if I can see where it began and ended. The 1-to-1, look, it went up to the 1-to-1. Oh, coin dreaming, hey mate. 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Yeah, up to $200, $260 for a 1.618 extension. Yeah, don't really know. Once the impulse begins, it'll be a lot easier to calculate, because then we'll know exactly where the pivot is, Have we already impulsed from this pivot low? Can't tell. It looks like we're still doing ABCs. It doesn't look like we've impulsed. ABC, ABC, ABC. It looks like we're just ABCing. So potentially we are going to go down for another, before we actually impulse. Potentially this could go down further. This could potentially go down before we impulse. But I'm quite interested because I do like this. And I think coming down from $40 to $20 since December is really quite bullish. Like, it's only down 50% from about 40. I mean, it peaked at 52, but it's only down 50% in the space of 10 months. I think that's really bullish. It's a really bullish correction because it's really prolonged and it's really gentle. And it looks like we're trying to hold this area here as at the top of one. So this is the right area, but in terms of timing, well, it's a tricky one, timing. That pivot came in on the 618 almost there, and the one pivot comes in at the beginning of December, the 1-to-1. So it's hard to know exactly what the timings are. Let me just try and draw those again. Get rid of these blue lines. That could have been a 5 to there, to be honest with you. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Three, 4, 5. ABC 5. Let me just try and work out the timings. Let me see. I'm obviously out of practice. Definitely out of practice. I'm so out of practice when it comes to timings. And I'm not really spending much time on it. it still looks like we're correcting. I've got this like SR flip from before, and I don't know how relevant that is. Got a previous all-time high. We've lost that, so that definitely is an SR flip. So whatever happens, Injective needs to flip that previous all-time high back into support. You can see that. And let me just have a look at the volume as well. It's probably much lower down, yeah. I mean, in terms of volume, the best buy would be $8.5, but the reality is what I'm looking at in terms of Elliott waves is I would like this area to hold support. Which I think it is at the moment. So you can wick down, but generally what I want to see is this area hold as support, which it is right now. That's why I'm quite interested in this. And obviously we have to see we have to see what the pivot 4 is, but if I've got this right, target is about $125 conservatively. That will be your target, $125. And after you see, and again, when you're impulsing, you're counting 5 waves, so it's actually quite, it's not that difficult to take profit if you're counting the waves and you have kind of fib targets and you see like a wave 3 come to close at your fib target. You see a wave 3 come to, if suddenly we, like, I don't think we're just going to pivot impulse, yeah. Usually if the price wants to impulse, it likes to go down before it starts to impulse. So you get your wave 1, wave 2. Let's say you get a wave 3 and it comes your target, $125. Like that would be it. You'd be looking to take profit there, just simply because you're looking at this higher time frame, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're looking at the 5. You're going, okay, this is, I'm seeing a 1. I'm seeing a 2. This is the 3. The 3 is usually the biggest. You would, and it's coming into a major fib target, which would be $125. Now, ideally you want to see confluence with your levels, and that's just kind of that's just on the back of my thumb or on the back of my hand. But imagine if we saw that in January and it was coming to backtest this channel that I have, I would probably exit. I would probably take all my profit or most of it. That would be confluence, you know, that would be a back test of a lost trend line plus a fib target plus counting waves. Yeah, so that's kind of how I would play that. And so it's hard to kind of preempt, but it'll be a lot easier to see when as it's happening, and it'll probably be quite fast. In that circumstance, you can see how the volume of injective is mostly at the lows here. And so naturally, a lot of people who are still positioned in from $1.50, if it does go up to $125 or 122, whatever, then that's 100x, 120x on their investment. Like if they put in $1,000 here, of course they're going to take profit. They're not going to wait and hold out for that much higher. They will take profit, and then we'll start seeing volume come out of this, because I can't really see that much volume come out. You can't see it in the volume profile here, so that's kind of what I'm imagining with injective at the moment, on a higher time frame. Let me have a look at WLD. WLD has got it's a real kind of interesting token because it's a hype token. Yeah, it's got a lot of hype for some reason, and it's on Binance. And after it launched, it went all the way up to $12, and it came in this dip. It corrected. It came down to about 1.45, Let me just do a quick volume profile. Oops. So you can see that we're in the value area. Yeah, let me mark it off actually, because I don't think I have. I don't think I've marked it off. No, I haven't. I've marked it wrong. Got to do that again. Value area low. Value area high. Point of control. Why have I got these fibs? I don't know. Oh, I've got it from the beginning here to the top there. They look like they're reacting correctly. These fibs, 236 is correct. The 382 is correct. The 50% is 50%, and then the golden pocket is way below it. We haven't hit the golden pocket yet. We've got a high volume node there as well. That's important. It's at the just above the 382. Got a high volume node. Get rid of that now. Put the volume back in. So we're kind of range bound in the value area. Yeah. For a brand new token, I think this is quite bullish. It dipped, it made an all-time high, and then it's come right back into the value area. It would have been more bullish to hold the value area as support. If this was kind of holding as support here, that would be a lot more bullish. Consolidating above the value area is kind of, then you'd be looking for a really explosive move straight into price discovery. We're not seeing that. Okay, doesn't mean it's not bullish. It just means that there's a bit of trap liquidity in these highs. You know, someone who bought this token at $8 or $9 or $10, they're seeing their investment down about 75% or more. And naturally, what they will be thinking to themselves is once the price comes back up, they'll exit at break even. Yeah, so a lot of people are thinking like that. So you need volume to push through higher prices. But we've come down, we've put in a low, we've come up, we've taken out the highs. So naturally, I'd be expecting a higher low here. If we see it, it looks like we're seeing a higher low here. On the point of control, it's holding a support. So I'm thinking to myself, if this area holds a support, then the next target will be, you know, you'd have a nice impulsive wave to higher prices. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let me see. Is there a 5 wave here? 1 ABC 1 2 3 4 5 ABC 1 2 3 4 5. So yeah, probably is. So there's your 1 ABC 2. Go up to there. Something like that. Something like that. Small wave, bigger wave, much bigger wave. 3 is not the smallest, so that's correct. And the 4 doesn't come underneath the 1, so that's correct as well. So the rules are correct on that. That's your higher time frame wave 1. As long as we don't take out the 0 point, that would require us coming underneath this value area low. As long as this doesn't go underneath the value area low, then this whole thing is a corrective move potentially for getting ready for a wave 3. Could this be the first impulsive wave? Yeah, it totally could be. We don't know. It could be 1 2 3 4 5. This whole thing could be a wave 1. What's interesting is that we've put in a higher high on a daily time frame. Look, so we've put in a higher high here. So a lot of tokens, altcoins have put in higher highs, and this hasn't taken out the high yet. So we haven't had a confirmation of market structure change to bullish just yet. Yeah, we're still in bearish market. We've had the first thing required, which is a higher high. And as long as we don't take out this low here, and as long as the price can take out this high here, then we'll have a confirmed market structure change. So it's still kind of a little bit indecisive. The first step is complete, and we're holding the point of control as support. So it's looking quite good, to be honest with you. And then the other thing that I can see is, imagine if that is the wave one, all the way up to there. I have to change the color. Amazing, huh? If we can get like a nice impulsive wave 3 all the way up to price discovery. Just see. $618, 1-to-1. An extended move would take us up to about $75, $74, $5. That would be an extended move all the way to the 1.618. If we get that, that would be really extended. This is a zigzagger, this correction. So this is a zigzagger, ABC. ABC, ABC, ABC. Could be like a 5 wave or something down to here. Maybe this is the kind of first impulsive move here. As long as we don't take out the low it is, because then you would just be impulsing up. And what would be good as we go up, it would be good if, depending on how, so it doesn't really have to go up to that high. It could go there and still have we could have a nice flat correction here. Yeah, that's totally possible too. Like, this is actually more probable actually in the context of everything's to do with what happens with Bitcoin. But the reason why I say this is more probable is because this is your zigzag. So you don't usually have a zigzag and then another zigzag. Usually you'll have a zigzag and then you'll have some kind of flat. And usually if one is, so this is the other thing, one of these extended moves is going to be the biggest usually. So from this 0 point to there, it was a 10x. It was like 1,100% move. That seems quite big, but you know, this might be bigger. One of them is going to be really big. We're not sure which one. If this just goes up to there, that would still be quite bigger. I think it's unlikely it would just go up to there, but it might. $15. Really flat correction. And then a crazy move, a crazy final move. Like, that's the thing. One of the moves is going to be crazy. So we have to see how this plays out. And also, we have to see if 3 is smaller than the 1 or bigger than the 1. Because obviously, if it's smaller, then the 5 has to be smaller. And so the rules can determine how this is going to behave. But in my imagination right now, I'm just thinking, if we go up to like the 1-to-1 and we have a flat correction, and I think that's unlikely, because you'll get people like, if someone is buying at this current price and we go up to there, that's a 700% increase in value. They're going to take profit. So it's more likely that we get a wide, like we go much higher. And then we have a kind of a flat correction, but it's kind of, it's like this. Just like that. Before we get our final pump. And because it's in price discovery, it'd be very volatile, because there's no volume. And so you're going to get people buying, FOMOing in, and then panic selling, and then buying, and all that kind of stuff. and naturally in this circumstance, the top of the one would be defended. So people who know, let's say it does go up to stupid prices like $74, then you had a massive correction all the way back down to the previous all-time high here at $11. Naturally, people who are counting these waves will just reposition right back in, yeah, and then that's going to cause the price to become really volatile in price discovery. Anyway, it'd be good to see how that plays out. I'm really interested. I think now is kind of a good kind of moment to accumulate. We've put in a higher high on the daily time frame, trying to put in a higher low. Haven't confirmed bullish market structure just yet. So that's kind of, that'll be a confirmation of this shift from bearish to bullish, and we are holding the point of control as support. So in terms of accumulating, it's kind of the right area to accumulate. And in terms of timings, well, look at that. The 1-to-1 perfectly came in. See that? It's quite nice. Look, 1-to-1. That was the 1-to-1. That was the pivot low 1-to-1 on that move. So potentially that was the first impulse. So it is the kind of the right time to kind of position in potentially, if that was your pivot. That's why I'm quite interested in this. So I have a little position on this. Might buy more now, just looking at this. Just might buy a bit more and see if we can run this all the way up to somewhere about $74, $75. That would be kind of what I would love that. And I wouldn't hesitate to take profit. I wouldn't be looking for higher. I think that would be amazing if this could go up to $74, like a 1.618 with 5 waves, impulsive waves. And imagine if we could get there by the end of December, or by, that would be amazing. That would be a really amazing move. And then you'd be looking for a really prolonged flat correction here, all the way to June or whatever, for your last kind of impulsive move, whatever, or August. I'm not really fussed about the last one. I wouldn't be too fussed about the last one. I'm focused on this one because that will be the wave 3. All right, that's kind of everything. I've gone over everything. Yeah, Bitcoin's pulling back a little bit, isn't it? So getting a little bit of a rejection from the point of control. I said that at the beginning of our stream, and look, see, it's coming down. I looked at TRVL. At TRVL, I said that the buying is fading out, and look, we're getting a little bit of pullback. So as I started the stream, I immediately said that it looks like the buying is slowing down, and immediately we're getting a little bit of a pullback. Again, SLERF as well. It's all kind of coinciding. So we're getting a little bit of a pullback. I think that's mainly to do with Bitcoin, rejecting. But I'm not bearish on that. I'm not bearish on Bitcoin just because Bitcoin is looking, this looks like a head and shoulders pattern, doesn't it? Looks like a little bit of a head and shoulders. The next step here would be a lower high and then a lower low. That's kind of what you're looking for on Bitcoin. But I'm not like bearish on Bitcoin just because it's rejected the point of control, because it's bounced off the value area low. So I still think we're range bound. I still be looking for a tightening of this range. And if it doesn't happen, then we have to actually lose the value area low, and that has to flip into resistance. Yeah. So at the moment, I'm not like feeling bearish. I'm just seeing that we're just getting a little bit of range bound behavior. Yeah. I don't really like that candle, that weekly candle, but it's okay because it's just we're just stuck in the lower. It's not bullish actually. It's not bullish. We're just stuck here. That's what I'm seeing. We're just stuck in the wick of this lower candle. We've taken the liquidity from the bottom of the candle, The price has been bought up and then the traders have taken profit, and now we're just kind of trading in the low of that candle. It's not bullish, but the fact that we're in the value area is bullish in my opinion. But ultimately it's not bullish because we're still in the lows of the value area. So we've kind of come into the value area, we've come back to back test it, and it just has to hold now. If it holds, then this is really bullish, yeah, on a higher time frame. Otherwise we can't hold support. Then this doesn't look crazy bullish, this pattern, does it? It's kind of droopy. So realistically, what we need to get up there. That would change everything. If we can get back above the value area high, flip it into support 70k. If that happens, then we're literally laughing. We're laughing. All right. There's a few people watching here. Only 2 people said hi. Altcoin Dreaming, send me a chart so I can have a look at it. What time is it? I'm not going to be on for long anymore. I'm going to probably be on for another half an hour. And then I'm going to go bouldering. MASQ. I did want to have a look at Tesla actually, but let me have a look at MASQ. MASQ. What's MASQ? What is that? Okay, so it's not on any exchange. It's on these dexes and this Probit Global. Can't stand Probit. I'll just have a look. I'll look at it on Dex Screener. Yeah, Probit. I can't stand Probit. Let me see if I can find it here though. Get rid of this. It's got a small market cap. Maybe I should have a look at Probit then. You're saying it's the best chart. Oh, it's basically just a, this is an accumulation pattern, basically. That's what it looks like. It's holding the value area high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Did we get any move? Looks like we did, huh? Looks like there was a move. That's a 5 wave there. That's a 5 wave there. ABC. No, there was no move here. It's like a big corrective move, huh? After you had this first impulse. It's like a massive corrective move. Is that what you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Big corrective move. Looks quite impulsive, but then you lost the top of this. Oh, I see. That could be the 5th wave, and that's the 5th wave. So you had a small one here, probably to 1 here. Wait. I have to change the time frame again. Go back to daily. Right, this will be easier to see now because we're on log. I'm getting into these moving averages. This was the last wave, but that was the 5th wave, I think. Hey mate, our age, long time, yeah. I'd be at the risk of repeating myself, which obviously I am about to. About just over 2 months ago, I got hacked in a very bad way, and so I just took a break. I just took a break from exposing myself to fucking cunts, hackers, these bastards. And yeah, my MetaMask got hacked, and my Bybit account got hacked at the same time, and I lost my email address. So I got it all back. I lost some crypto as a result. Luckily, I spread my crypto around, so it wasn't a lot. It wasn't the nightmare that it could have been. And luckily, Bybit blocked. They got into my Bybit. What happened was they got into my laptop, and once they got into my laptop, they were in. And so I've taken measures now. Like I have a hard wallet now. So yeah, cold wallet. I've got an offline wallet now. Yeah, they blocked it. Bybit literally blocked 2 transactions, big transactions. So that was like, I give them credit because they flagged the transactions and they blocked it. And as the hackers logged into my Bybit, they logged in from a different location. I got a message on my phone. I couldn't log in at the same time, but luckily they weren't able to change the password. So I was quickly able to change the password. In that time, I saw that they made 2 big transactions, but they were blocked by Bybit. And then I was able to change my password and lock them out. So those transactions were rejected by Bybit. And that kind of got me thinking, well, shit, if they got into my Bybit and I've lost my main email, what else have they got into? I checked my MetaMask and everything had gone. They took everything. So that sucked. But luckily, it wasn't the only MetaMask that I had, and I had a few other. Like I spread my crypto around. Yeah, they got through the 2-factor because they got into my laptop, and so because they got into my laptop, they got past the 2-factor because it was a verified, it was a trusted device. So that's the danger of 2-factor if you have a trusted device. So it was a real wake up call. I stopped streaming because obviously these people targeted me because of what I'm doing, which is not really analyzing the charts, but also just trying to kind of promote Dtravel. And so their angle was to try, their angle was, we're big investors and we're interested in kind of, you know how the story goes. And obviously I'm quite new in exposing myself to crypto to the world. The new YouTube channel, so it's like a little hobby. And naturally, these were professionals. They knew exactly what they were doing. So since then, I had to take a break, had to reflect on my life, my existence. And crypto was going nowhere. So it was just pointless streaming every day, trying to drum up interest. I was just on my X sending messages. So if you go on my X, you'll see that I was still active on my X. And now I got a hardware wallet, so there's no way to take the crypto without the hardware wallet. So that's the way forward. I got a Trezor hardware wallet, so it's pretty good. They're pretty good. And also the good thing about Trezor, a hardware wallet, is because if you don't have the hardware wallet, you can't access the funds. It's impossible. So even if they get your seed phrase on your MetaMask, without the Trezor, they can't access your funds. And then on your hardware wallet, you have to accept. You have to, every time a transaction happens, you have to accept. This actually looks like an accumulation pattern to me. I think there was an impulsive move here. I can see this, a little bit of impulse here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Let me mark it out. Someone's liking, thank you. Yeah, I'm taking precautions, but you know, fuck me. It was a nightmare. And they're probably here watching my video streams now, you know, probably the same idiots. But I've got messages now from X. I'm not responding to people now. Like I'm not bothered. Like, whatever. I'm not interested. I think the safest way is to just not engage anymore with people. It's a shame, but we live in a cruel world. I think something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks like a 5 wave there, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like a small 5 wave. But that doesn't work with the count. Let me have a look at your chart. I don't have to chart anymore. All I have to do is to say, "Oh, cool, dreamy. Let me have a look at your chart," isn't it? Oh, you've done a, yeah. You've basically said what I suggested. That was a big kind of corrective move, huh? Yeah, we've done the same thing, haven't we? Oh shit! Where did it go? Did I lose it? Did I not just? Yeah. So yeah, so I thought that was more of a big corrective move, ABC. And you're saying that's your first wave, which it is, huh? First wave, it's big impulsive wave. So you're absolutely right, I think. As long as we don't take out that low. An extended flat. Where did I? Oh, have I lost my? Okay, so we're holding above the value area high. That's quite bullish, huh? If we hold above there. And fib time. Trend-based fib time. I hate these, the way they do it. See another. It's quite a prolonged kind of, it's like an ABC, ABC, and then there's a 1-to-1 there, and it kind of overextended a little bit. I don't know about fib time. Let's have a look at fib retracements. Perfect. Came to the 618, held. That's really nice, sir. It's a really nice hold. And the price is above the value. It's really nice, sir. So this is really nice setup. As long as you don't take out that low. Shame it's on Probit. Okay. To 1.618. What was your targets? Let's have a look. Oh, you haven't really kind of done them. Okay. So based on this fib extension, if that's the pivot for the first impulse, then a 1-to-1 would be 1.8. So it's a 10x from where we are now, and then an extended would be all the way up at $11.4, thereabouts, $11. So that's kind of your targets. Your higher target would be $11 if we were to kind of really impulse. That's wave one, and then you obviously count the waves and see where it lands. But I think the first kind of big resistance, and after it reaches all-time high, would be that 1-to-1. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing. Yeah, it's really nice. Oh, thanks, RH. Good to have me back. Well, I'm streaming it. It's harder because I have to rebuild my the little, everyone's gone, everyone's vanished, like you vanished. So it's hard rebuilding after you've disappeared. I've just realized that, because before, I don't know if you noticed, but sometimes I was getting like 20 people come in and stuff, and it was quite busy, and it was hard to build that in the first instance, and now I have to kind of rebuild that whole kind of community. So anyway, we'll give it a try and see what happens. It's a shame it's on this stupid chart. I hate it. I think I could, if I wanted to buy some, I have no idea what this project is, but if I wanted to buy some, I'd have to get it on Uniswap. It's really low volume. The biggest problem is the volume. Honestly, that's the biggest problem. It's got a small market cap. It's got a really pants volume. 20K is nothing. And I think that's gonna, like, I think most big traders would avoid it because of the volume. And the biggest problem is exit liquidity. So you've got a big amount of volume that's come in here, and I can't even tell you how much it is. And you know, if you, and at the moment, though the people who came at the point of control are up 300%. If you go up to the 1-to-1, sorry, the 1.618 in an extended move, look, from the point of control, that's a 25,000% increase in value. And there's not enough volume in this token to sustain that take profit. So even though technically those are the targets, the reality is that I think it's unlikely, simply because there's not enough volume to sustain a massive take profit. That's my biggest concern with this token. You'd have to see an increase in volume, a significant increase in volume to satisfy higher prices. That's my biggest critique. So even from where we are now, I think a 10x to 1-to-1 is the most likely scenario. If this was, and it's not even 10x from here, it's about an 800, it's about a 900% increase in value. Honestly, I think that if you get into price discovery, I wouldn't be looking to take it past $1.8 from where we are now. And you just have to consider that the biggest volume is down here, and up to the 1-to-1, they're up 3,834%. So, you know, that's a lot. 3,000. So like the $1,000 invested is going to be about $30,000. And if you look at the volume, you see the volume at the moment, it's so shit, 20,000, that it will just be one sell order at that level, and the price will just collapse. And then the reality is that sustaining a really nice kind of 5 waves, and then another, like a proper, because that's what you want, really. You want your wave 1. You've got your 2 here. And the reason why it's corrected so deep is because of the volume. The volume is really struggled. Yeah. And the reason why it's overextended is because of the lack of volume. So the really volume is lacking here. And if you do go up and you get big TPs, then I don't think this is going to hold, you know, and then you have to invalidate this wave 1, or this whole thing is still corrective. This wave 1 is valid, and this whole thing is actually, there's no 5 waves here. This whole thing is just continued corrective waves. So I'm not enthusiastic about this token. If you have a small position, just look to exit probably at the all-time high, probably. Probably. And to be honest with you, depending on the volume, you may get a situation where it struggles to get past the all-time high because of the volume. The volume is a really big problem with this token, and this is not the only token that has this problem. We've talked about that problem with other tokens as well. So obviously the one that I always follow is TRVL, so I am looking at the volume too. The interesting about TRVL, see, the volume's pants, 74k. What you can look at is historic volume. On CoinGecko. Historic data, and we've had a drop off of volume in the lows, okay, but actually historically, when it was at the highs, there was quite a lot of volume. Let's have a look. And so there was an opportunity, like it was up to 300,000. This was back in July, and going back further, that 1.5 million. This is back in March. 1.5 million, $2 million, $2 million, $1 million. And if you don't have that volume, then it becomes very difficult for people to exit. Very difficult. You need an increasing volume with increasing prices, and if you don't have that, it becomes a problem. Yeah, TRVL is low at the moment. Look, the volume's low. I think part of the reason why the volume is low as well is because people are they're like waiting. They're waiting for Bitcoin to move. Yeah. All right. Things are pulling back. Things are kind of. I'm just looking at Bitcoin dominance. So like Bitcoin dominance is going up, Bitcoin's going down. So Bitcoin is hitting resistance a little bit. If BTC looks pretty miserable, big sell-off. Let's see where actually ETH BTC. Let's have a look at that. These. It's a tricky one, but the first high volume node is actually at 3.4, so we're not far away from it, to be honest with you. To there, it's about a 12% drop in ETH BTC value. And if Bitcoin pulls back, we're going to get a pullback here too, probably. So this looks like this is what's happening. I think a lot of value is going from ETH back into BTC. And naturally, what I'm looking at on ETH BTC, this is kind of the first area of support and resistance, this red candle here, with the biggest support here back at the point of control. But you've got a little bit of a volume, you've got a little bit of a range here on volume, and that should, the ETH will react. So we're coming close to the end, really close to the end. Once ETH BTC finds support, that's your alt season. That's it. There's no more guessing. And there's no reason that we can't see this find support there. I don't know if this is going to impulse for a free. You know, you could still correct. It could feel impulsive, you know, and still find resistance back at the value area high and for another attempt, and then you have to kind of change the structure, change the structure on a higher time frame to go up. But if you had a higher time frame, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there, this whole thing is just some kind of corrective move potentially. Or that was corrective, maybe that was impulsive, maybe there's a higher time frame free that we're in. That's kind of what I was imagining. So this is kind of what I'm hoping for. And ETH BTC can go down if BTC pumps too. So it doesn't have to be because BTC is going down. It could be because BTC is going up. If BTC starts to go parabolic, ETH BTC is going to go down. That's what people don't realize. But that's a really good look. That's a really amazing place to pick up this token. Like that is, I mean, dare I say it, that is the ultimate alt season, isn't it? The bounce off the point of control and the golden pocket, and you're looking at 0.03. So effectively that's that's an all-in moment on Ethereum against Bitcoin right there. Effectively, that's a really amazing moment to buy ETH. And maybe I will. Maybe I will. I'm just looking at it now. I'm gonna set a fucking alert. Why not? Set an alert. just above it. Where was that volume node there? We're coming into HTF volume support. Too high. It's good to set alerts. Don't have to look at this chart again. That will be a really good place to buy ETH and altcoins, and ideally you want ETH BTC to hit 0.31, 0.31, and to see a nice reaction. That's kind of what you want to see. And I don't think there's any reason why it won't do that, because it's the golden pocket aligned with a really higher time frame, a mega higher time frame point of control. Like the most of the volume on ETH BTC is coming at that level, so I would be expecting a really nice reaction there, and possibly it's going to be front run, because here you can clearly see the volume begins here at the top. And if I kind of zoom into the volume a bit, my chart's a bit messy, you can see this volume comes out all the way to here. See that? This is up to there. So depending on the amount of volume that comes in at these levels, it is foreseeable that enough volume comes in to move the point of control higher up. If you get a big front run here, then it's very possible that you get enough point of volume that the point of control will move up, just because people are just trying to catch ETH. But no one really knows how this is going to play out. Is it going to be because Bitcoin goes parabolic, or is it going to be because Bitcoin crashes? No one really knows. And in both circumstances, this will go down. In both circumstances, if it's because Bitcoin crashes, I think it's more likely than not it's because Bitcoin goes parabolic. I don't know. I just feel that if Bitcoin crashes, usually when Bitcoin goes parabolic, ETH BTC goes down. And so if Bitcoin crashes, yeah, if this goes down, let's just say hypothetically, I'm just kind of hypothetically imagining the future. If Bitcoin crashes and this goes down, and now Bitcoin, let's say Bitcoin's at 42K, and this is at support now. So now if Bitcoin goes parabolic, then this should continue going down. Yeah, it should continue going down, because historically when Bitcoin is going parabolic, ETH BTC goes down, it doesn't go up. So it kind of doesn't make sense. I almost think that as BTC goes up, this is going to go down until BTC is parabolic, and then you're going to get the value move back into BTC. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but I might be wrong. I don't know. And that kind of coincides with my altcoins, my BTC dominance. You almost want another push up, huh? A little bit of a push up, one more push up. So I mean, I've got it going down, but actually, look, it's kind of holding the back holding the 618. You almost want, and then down, don't you? You want like a final push. BTC goes parabolic, BTC dominance goes up, and now we're in price discovery. All eyes are on BTC, and then actually that's when BTC dominance finally kind of flops, and then it's alt season. So lots of kind of different ideas about what could happen, and I'm here every day, just kind of looking at all different charts, and obviously I'm happy to look at other people's charts. Not now, because I'm about to go. and then we can also have a look at different things together. I've got some SUI. Don't know how you pronounce it. Would you pronounce that sui? Chop suey? I've got some, so it's on my list. And it's quite interesting because, oh fuck, look, this is all old data. I haven't actually, I'll probably do this tomorrow. Look, you've put in an all-time high, haven't you? Look at that. All-time high, isn't it? All-time high. It's mega bullish, huh? Mega bullish. Mega bullish. Just, what can I say? Let me just update the volume. Let me do it on the daily time frame. So I saw some people saying, oh, this is a good place to take profit, but I mean, higher time frame, it's still too early, isn't it? Like, you just don't know. My beard though, yes, and it's getting white as well. That's all the stress. The stress of getting hacked. All right, so this is interesting. The value area high is higher. The point of control is where it was. High volume node is where it was. Value area low. So the volume profile's shifted a little bit. You've got a high volume node there. You've got one there as well. There. Doesn't really affect the price. You've got a little bit of a high volume node there. You've got a few high volume nodes. Doesn't really make any difference to where we are. But what's happened is, look what's happened. You've got all of this volume here, which was this range here. And just look how the price has just gone through it with volume. Look at all of that volume. That's a lot of volume there. And you're just kind of going through that volume. So trap liquidity is being cleared with this price move. So people are really trying to buy up. They're really bullish, huh? It's really bullish, the price action, because you're going up with volume, right? And without going into too much depth, I'm imagining that there's some kind of impulsive move here. Don't really need to map it out because it's just there, isn't it? Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's there, right up to that point there. I'll do it anyway, just for shits and giggles. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Oh shit, what am I do? Something like that, right? So you have your 1 there, and then you've got a corrective move here. It kind of missed the timing. It bounced here, but then it faked out. So let me just see if there's something I'm missing here. That was all right, huh? Yeah, I mean, right now it's probably going down because Bitcoin is going down. Then we've just made an all-time high, haven't we? This is your 1. So you have another impulsive move here. Look, that's your impulse. This is your ABC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the reality is, okay, so you just have to bear this in mind, yeah? That's your pivot 1. Look, this is your 1 here, right? That's your wave 1. This is your wave 2. So this is really impulsive. So I am expecting this to continue going. I'm not expecting however this plays out, this isn't over because I'm expecting more. Because whatever happens in terms of the way Elliott waves works is that we go up to make a 3 and then this becomes your SR flip for correction. Yeah, so where we're at now should be a flip in the future, and therefore for that to happen, the price of SUI has to go higher, yeah. And this move now is impulsive. Look, it's fucking impulsive. Look, impulse, correction, this is all impulsive. And so whether it goes down, red candle, whatever, the reality is that just looking at this, I am expecting higher, because it would make sense. Doesn't really matter if this comes down and then goes up, but really it would make sense to go much higher so that we can get a correction to bounce back off where we're at now, right? So potentially this wave 3 is over. I'm not really kind of looking at it in depth because I'm holding for the higher time frame, but the reality is I am expecting much higher in this context. Does that make sense? Yeah, and at the very least, I'm not trading it. That's the thing. Like, if people are trading it, yeah, you would take profit now. It's the all-time high. You would take profit. Yeah. I mean, I could take profit. I could take a little bit of profit. Or I could just leave it. It's not a big deal. I'm not like all in crypto anyway, so I'm not really fussed. But I haven't even got to the 1-to-1, so it's a bit. I think I'd like to see it get to the 1-to-1 here. We've come far enough. Why not to the 1-to-1? Whatever this, I don't care about this. This could bounce anywhere. The condition is that it doesn't come underneath the 1 here. So you have a fine line, you have a definite line. This could pull all the way back. It's possible. Everything's possible in crypto. And then I think with the way this is, why not go all the way? Like, it's been so bullish. Why not go all the way up to at least the 1.618? That's what I'm thinking at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 3 is not the shortest, so that would work. It's not the shortest now anyway. And so effectively you're looking at a 1, 2, 3. And maybe you do get a really bullish 5, actually. It is possible. Let me see what the percentages are. 400%. Let's say we go up to the 168. 1,600%. So we're still looking at another 288% from here. I mean, it is possible that you have another kind of ABC all the way back down to here. And then you go for another 5 wave all the way into price discovery. So it's possible. But you have to hold the top of that, and you actually go much higher. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I kind of think that it's like if you're trading, you definitely would take profit. So as you've just taken the all-time high. Yeah, you would. Why wouldn't you? You've closed above it, and now we're getting a pullback, which is this red candle that you're experiencing now is a take profit candle. Yeah, but I think a lot of people are bullish on this. I don't necessarily think that this is. I think it's a bit too early to start selling. Like, if you are taking profit, you should be looking to put it back in and compound. That's what I feel. So that's kind of my thoughts on this. And I haven't really been kind of paying much attention because I was bullish on it, and I started to buy some just to have. And it's good actually, because with SUI you can stake it as well. Have I staked it on Bybit? Let me have a look. I think there's a launch pool. Let me see what the launch pool is on Bybit. Yeah, so on Bybit, you can stake SUI to earn this new token called NavX. So I've got some that I've staked. And I'm earning NavX. Yeah? Have you seen the Murad tweet about the meme? I haven't actually. Could you link it? I'll make you a moderator and link it for me. There, you're a moderator now. I think you are. And then link it here, and then I'll have a look at it, and then I'll go, because I have to go. I'm going to go bouldering now with my nephews. Can you link it? Or shall I search for it? No links. Trezor, so with Trezor you can. With Trezor you have to hard wallet to your MetaMask. It's actually, I really should do a video on Trezor because it's such an amazing wallet. What you can do is you can connect your Trezor to your MetaMask, and it merges the wallets together, and it gives you as many wallets as you want. Like, and the only way to access your MetaMask is with the Trezor hard wallet. So it's really, I don't know if people realize how amazing it is. So you're not actually, you can use your Trezor independently, or you can use your Trezor to sign your MetaMask, and therefore you can have your funds in your MetaMask and the only way you can access it or interact with any contract is you need to confirm it with your Trezor every single time with your hard wallet. It's really amazing. I probably should do a video on that. Where's that tweet? Murad's tweet. Show me that tweet and then I'm gonna go. Oh really? But I mean, with Trezor you can do it on MetaMask. Yeah, MetaMask. Oh, I haven't made you admin. Hold on, let me make you admin. Add as moderator. There. Okay, that's not letting me. Oh, I got to do it here. Hold on. Here, do it now. RH, do it now. Yeah, you probably can do it with one key as well. So here, look, I'll show you. This is the so you can have so many Trezors. Like, it's not showing any value, but and then you have your original MetaMask. And so the only way you can access it is with your Trezor. Anyway, so it's basically it's MetaMask that can only be accessed with your Trezor. Oh, you can't see it on stream. All right, good. Good. Right, never mind. All right, this is the last thing of the day. Murad, meme coin super cycles happening because investing is all about people. Oh, okay. I don't know who he is. Oh, he's got a lot of followers, huh? Shit. Meme coin analysis. All right, let's have a look. Why not? We'll see what he has to say. Well, look, there is definitely a meme coin cycle. Like I don't know if you call it super cycle or you call it a hype cycle. In the same way that NFTs were hyped so much in the last bull market, in this market, memes are being hyped. But there's so many memes. The question really is all going to come down to retail and liquidity and volume. Retail, liquidity, volume, and obviously you have the communities as well initially pumped. So I mean, there's a few memes that I have in my list, and I haven't got all of them because, you know, it's a gamble really. Memes at the end of the day is a gamble. Like, I've got a bit of whiff, and I've got SLERF. I've got a lot of SLERF actually. I'm quite bullish on SLERF just because of the liquidity and the volume, and the community is quite big as well, and the narrative is quite interesting. And then some cock down here, some cock, and then some shit ones as well which aren't on this list. PopCat. I see all this kind of shit, you know, like I don't trust any of them, to be honest with you. I don't trust any of these influencers. Like, I think it's all a gamble, and it's good to just have a kind of, like, you can't be in all of them, huh? Oh, okay, I'll have a look at this. This is nice. 21 minutes. Fucking hell. All right, I'll save it.
Performance of all the major crypto categories, they're a mixed bag with a lot of disappointments and a lot of underperforming tokens. But if you look at the bottom right of the screen, you will see that meme coins in particular are dominating in terms of outperformance right now. Old memes are doing well, and new memes are doing particularly amazing. The era of all crypto assets moving up in unison is over. We're all going to make it is dead. This is a natural step in the evolution of the space.
I think that's why it's important to count the waves, because you're only going to get 5 waves, and only 3 of them are going to be impulsive waves. And so naturally, if you're counting waves, then I think it'll be quite easy, at the very least, to not FOMO in to tokens which have already moved, you know. And I think the most bullish tokens are the ones which haven't moved. And so when I'm looking at meme coins, actually, I don't know if you saw that video. Probably not. I was watching, I don't know if you heard it, but I was playing it. This guy here.
If you look at the first 3 pages of CoinMarketCap, you will see that only 43 tokens have outperformed Bitcoin year to date. And does any category stand out? You'll see that 13 out of the top 20 are meme coins. So why is the meme coin cycle happening?
Anyway, I think the volume's too loud, so you're getting feedback, aren't you?
There's reasons internal to the space and reasons external to the space. So first of all, there's a massive overproduction of tokens, right?
I'll watch this anyway. If anyone's interested, this is the link. Altcoin Dreaming has posted it. All right, I'm going to go now, guys. It was good chat. Nice to see you again, RH, and Altcoin Dreaming. It's always good to see you back. And we'll chat again tomorrow, right? Look at that, fucking Elon Musk. Did you see his rocket? It was amazing, huh? Did you see the landing? Off the charts, man. This guy, I love this guy. Yeah, this is it. This is the one. Did you see this? That's fucking crazy. What amazing was that? I haven't seen that video. That video is a different angle. Shit. Gotta like that guy. Interesting information. I'm gonna watch that again. It's crazy, yeah? Look at that. Look at the angle it's coming down at. And look, he's trying to come there. Oh my god, that's incredible. You can see how fast this vehicle is moving on the left hand. What? We're now down to Amazing. Incredible. Yeah, I saw his cars. Yeah. It's, I need to start buying some Tesla. All right, guys, have a good evening. Have a good weekend, Sunday, and then chat tomorrow. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a schedule because I think it'll be a lot better to create a schedule. I haven't got around to it, but I will. I'm going to create a schedule of my live streams so that what I really want to do is I'm trying to build it a little bit, have more people on our live streams, and we can have a look at a lot of stuff together. And I'll be the conductor. All right, have a good day. Take care, guys. Bye.